setting your lures, this is a short corner lure, for example. If you're going to set your pattern out, the first lure you want to put is your closest one inside. You can then regulate your speed based on what that first lure is doing and then work your pattern around your first lure versus putting them all out and then trying to work them all at once. It's easier just to control and look at the one lure and make sure your speed's right based on your sea conditions. When you're putting out a line, always be ready to. You can get a bite going out. So never put your hand underneath the reel because your thumb can get stuck up underneath. So you always want to work a reel off the top. I don't get my thumb. I usually use my hand off the edge and I'll feed the line out this way. And at the same time I'm doing that, I've always got my right hand over on the drag so I can increase my drag if I need to. Now we're using tag lines and what you see going out on the tip there is a Dacron slide. Essentially what it is you have a Dacron loop we formed and spliced into our line. So I'll bring it off the tip slightly like this enough so when I come back up here to grab it, I can drop my rod back and I want to put my rod right back in the rod holder because this can be bit at any second. I've always been conscious where that line is in case we get bit. So this is a Dacron slide. If you notice, we can adjust this slide, put a couple of half hitches of wax line towards the end here, and that allows a little tension so it doesn't beat up the line much, but enough that we can adjust and fine tune that lure and position wherever we want it during the day. So right now I'm looking at that lure, it's a little bit long. So I'm gonna bring it in a little bit. I wanna get this one on the wave directly behind our long corner lure, which is on our right side. And this is our short rigger line on the left. I want to put it on the wave directly behind that. I'm fine tuning it. Once I think I've got it in the right position, I'm going to go ahead. As you see, it's got a little Dacron loop. On the end of our clip right here, we've got a blacks clip. I'm going to go ahead and open up that. And I'm going to put that right over, I get here, the end of the blocks clip, and I'm going to close that. You want to adjust your tension. Hypothetically, you want to adjust your tension to the same braking strength as you have when you're trolling your sets. This is at about 16 pounds right here, and we have a similar setting here, so it's the same crisp release. Once that's on that, I can let that go, and we have a slide, which we have a series of rings we're using here. So when this line comes off, these are real noisy. They slide and retrieve this tag line back down to be able to put it in a position where I can now clip it back into the line. So once it's set there, I can release that. I come back to my reel, and that tag line will slide right up to the tip, to that position. I can adjust during the day, depending on what the sea conditions are. If I'm coming into a head sea and my lure is bouncing too much, I can either bring it down a little bit and fine tune it this way, or just keep it in a higher position with that drag line and either let line up to increase my angle to my lure, which you can see right now is skipping a little bit too much. I like to have my lures ideally cycling, and what we mean by cycling is coming up, grabbing air, going back down.